This is the Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder. But the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years. Lizzie?
Yes, Miss Cornelia.
Is the car ready?
It's out the door. Look, Miss Cornelia, them servants you brought from the apartment are talking about walking out on us.
Really? I know they don't like it here, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, they've been hearing things about the killer that the police call the Bat and the murders that he committed here this past winter. Now people are saying that he's back again.
Well, how can they be sure of that? Has he committed another crime?
No, not yet, but that ain't saying that he won't. Here's something else. You've heard about the bats they have here. Animal bats, the kind that fly.
Yes, yes.
Look what it says in this magazine. This is a report from the state health department, and it says some of them bats is rabid.
Well.
And that ain't all. Now there's a rumor going around that it was the bat himself, the killer, I mean, that released the rabid bats in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, the housekeeper, the cook, the butler, and the upstairs maid don't think so.
Well, I can't help what they think. If hysterical nonsense like that can scare them out of their good jobs, it's their loss, not mine. Come on, Lizzie, I've got to get to the bank. Drive directly to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. It's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Thanks again.
Miss Van Gorder.
How do you do, Mr. Barry?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course. Hello, Miss
How
Allen.
do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes, yes. I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No, I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Oh? Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
Well, that's right. Mr. Fleming's in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me. Dale, I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is. My wife, Miss Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Mrs.
How do you
Bailey?
do? Cornelia Van Gorder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've read every murder mystery you've ever written. I just adored that weird one, The Private Morgue of Dr. X, even though it gave me the shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me.
Oh.
Well, I really mean that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, please. Don't be strangers now.
No,
Oh,
no,
I
we
should say
won't.
not.
Oh, so you're a bride.
Well, not quite.
Not since Christmas.
No, I'm sure I've seen you.
Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen?
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Mrs. Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. My, what a charming woman. She moved into the Oaks just the other day.
That house is a proper setting for a writer of mysteries.
Oh, it certainly is. Vic, what's the matter?
Come in here, both of you. Andy, we're in trouble. Wendell Hines came in to pick up $350,000 worth of bonds that we were holding as collateral for a loan. They were kept in our special vault. Mr. Fleming and I are the only officers of the bank who have access to that vault.
So?
The Hines bonds are gone. That's not all. Other negotiable securities are missing. From what I can gather, short of a careful check, the bank has been looted of over $1 million worth of securities.
You'll have to notify Fleming.
I wish I could talk to him. Unfortunately, he and Dr. Wells are deep in the woods. They can't be reached by phone.
What is it?
I thought I heard someone on the path coming from the lake. Had an idea it might be that guide of ours.
Oh, Sam won't show up until morning. It's a 20-mile canoe trip from here to civilization.
5 will get you 10. Sam has a message for me.
I thought you told him at the bank not to bother you.
I did, but they'll bother me. Doctor,
Yes, John.
what would you do for $500,000?
Anything short of murder.
Why not murder?
Too messy.
Too great a risk?
For $500,000? Yes.
I pinched $1 million from the bank. Well, I'm not kidding. I embezzled it.
Not that I think you wouldn't do it if you thought you could get away with it.
I got away with it. I'm not talking about currency. I took negotiable securities that could be converted into cash. I have the cash in 10s, 20s, and 100s.
Well, I'm your doctor, not your lawyer. Why tell me this?
You'll find out why.
Who's going to take the blame for the robbery?
Bailey, the cashier. They'll never suspect me.
I like Bailey.
Well, so do I. I love the guy. I gave him his first chance.
He has a lovely little wife.
Charming girl. Was the best man.
Where's the $1 million?
In my family's tomb in Zenith. In the crypt with my father's casket.
I don't buy that, John.
No?
No. You forget that I had you in charge when you were a very sick man. When you raved in delirium. And I heard you talk about a hidden room. Now, where else could you put a hidden room except in that mansion you built? That white elephant you call the Oaks.
Look, everyone knows I have a bad heart. Now, who would doubt it if you wired the bank directors that my heart had failed? That I had fallen from a great height here in the woods. And that I was badly smashed up. You could ship the body back for burial and instruct them not to open the casket due to the condition of its contents.
Well, you realize, of course, that we'd have to have a body to put in that casket, which means that we'd have to deal with an undertaker at this end.
Of course.
Well, where do we get a body?
Couldn't we provide one of our own? How about Sam?
Sam, our guide?
Sam weighs about as much as I do. He's practically a hermit. He wouldn't be missed for a long time.
The local undertaker would know him.
Not if we made him look as if he'd been in a serious accident.
But if Bailey's going to take the blame, why'd he have to do this?
A jury might acquit him. In that case, I'd be a logical suspect. I could disappear, of course, but it's safer if they think I'm dead.
What if I don't go for this deal?
In that case, it would be too bad.
You mean you'd kill me?
What else could I do? Now that I've told you about the $1 million, I'd say you were shot in a hunting accident. Now, look, Doctor, if you can find another body instead of Sam's, it's all right with me. There's $500,000 in it for you.
I'll do my best.
I smell smoke.
So do I. What's that noise?
Look, Doctor, the woods are on fire. It's coming this way. We've got to get out of here. Out the back way.
We will. As soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
Lizzie, is that you? Yes, Miss Cornelia. There's a storm coming up, and it's gonna be a snorter. The wind nearly blew the door off its hinges.
Well, that noise blew my game higher than a kite. I think I've lost some of the cars.
Oh, I'll get them for you.
Oh, I see you found the paper.
Drat that paper boy, scooting by on his bicycle, just chucked it into a clump of bushes and let it go at that. For land's sake, Mr. Vic Bailey's been arrested.
Oh?
I think.
Victor Bailey, vice president and cashier of the Zenith Bank, was arraigned before United States Commissioner Alvin Fielding, charged with the embezzlement of over $1 million. I can't believe Vic Bailey had anything to do with that robbery. Oh, well, I see our landlord is home again.
Landlord?
Mr. Fleming. Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, president of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Well, why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance?
The housekeeper, the cook, and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
Oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is they were scared to stay.
But you were still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No. No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest, Miss Corney, a spiritualist told me once that ghosts was allergic to me. But this Bat feller they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him.
Oh, dear. What are they trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why? What does it say about the bat?
His specialty seems to be killing women. My goodness, 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way, like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
That's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime.
In a book. That ain't nothing, just something bumping against the house. That's just the wind banging a door. Pay no attention to it. Listen to this. One of his victims, who lived for a moment after she was found, described the bat as a man without a face. Honest, Miss Corny, I think that woman must have been exaggerating. It's just that heavy tapestry at the top of the stairs.
I know. I've heard it before on a windy night. But that sounds as if there was someone on the stairs. I know there isn't. At least there shouldn't be.
There ain't. Them's just the noises you hear in any old house on a windy night. It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either. Lizzie! And that, I suppose, is the cat dropping its dentures.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's something should be looked into. Now, who chucked him down here?
The wind, I hope. There must be a window open up there. No, Lizzie. Let him lay. Let him sleep it off. I hope the power lines don't go down, put the lights out. Now, we'll check the windows in the living room and draw the curtains, and then we'll go to bed.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be a minute.
Gordy! Oh!
What's that?
Oh, I went to get the tape. I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now, you hurry now, and we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corny.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator?
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia Van Gorder. I'm living at the Oaks.
We know about that, Miss Van Gorder.
Just a moment ago, a man tried to force his way into this house.
You're not alone there, are you? What about your servants?
Well, I have none except my chauffeur, and he's away. He won't be back until the morning. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Well, thank you very much. Come on, Lizzie. We're going to sleep in my room. Well, nothing can get at us in this room now, I think. This door seems good and solid.
Like the door to a tomb.
I think that couch will be comfortable. There's some extra bedding, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Closet. Let's see now. No bolt. Well, that's not so good. Oh, what's that? That, my good woman, is a booby trap. If anybody tries to open this transom, this will be knocked off, and we'll hear it fall.
I forgot my night things, my robe, my gown, and my slippers. I'll go get them now.
Now, wait a minute, Lizzie. I'll go with you.
Now, don't you bother, Miss Cornelia. My room's just down the hall.
Lizzie, I told you to wait.
It's all right. I'll only be a second. Get.
Yes?
Miss Van Gorder?
Yes?
Zenith Police Department. There's a police car just outside your house, and the officers in it have reported that there's no sign of a prowler anywhere on the grounds.
Well, the man's inside now. He's in the hall, just outside my bedroom. Have your men break through the kitchen door and search this place from top to bottom.
Okay, Miss Van Gorder. Sit tight.
I will. I have a gun, and I know how to use it.
Relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him, Miss Cornelia.
All right. So he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here.
Miss Cornelia! Miss Cornelia!
What's the matter? Oh, nonsense. You've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat in it, and it bit me. And it flew in that closet.
Oh, good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells' office, please? No, I don't know his number, and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh, dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello? Dr. Wells' office?
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at the moment, but if you'll give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
Well, this is Miss Van Gorder of the Oaks. My maid has just been bitten by a bat that may be rabid, and she must have treatment as soon as possible. And I was told that Dr. Wells was the nearest physician.
I'll try to find him for you, and if I can't, I'll send you another doctor.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, he's out on a case. Oh, I hope it's not a delivery. A baby, I mean, they can be terribly complicated.
It never bothered me none.
Oh, Lizzie, you never had a baby.
Of course I didn't. That's why they never bothered me.
Oh, does it hurt, huh?
Little.
Dr. Wells? Are you there, Dr. Wells? Are you there, Dr. Wells? This is the operator. Your call service is on the wire. It's an emergency.
This is Dr. Wells.
This is your call service, Doctor.
Oh, hello. I was just doing an experiment. I left the receiver off.
That's what I thought, but I kept trying. Miss Van Gorder at the Oaks called and said that her maid had been bitten by a bat, and she's afraid it might be rabid.
What? Oh, all right. Tell her I'll be right over there.
Who's there?
Dr. Wells.
Come in.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm so glad they found you, Doctor.
Well, I reached my office shortly after you called. How is your maid? Is she in any pain?
No, she doesn't seem to be.
Did the bat get away?
No, I believe it's still in my bedroom.
Oh, good. I want to examine it. There you go, Miss Allen. Now you feel better?
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing's got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
Oh. You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, well, after tonight, nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand. It must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things have happened here. There's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Aha! Yes. There he is. All right, now, take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. He looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Oh, ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection. In which case, you've had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you, and I'll guarantee you a good night. And I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry, I can find my way out.
Oh, I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with. Lock the door, Lizzie.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Good night, Doctor.
Accident?
No, the wind blew him down.
Oh.
I think.
Oh. Did you know that young Mark Fleming leased you this house without notifying his uncle?
No, I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter now. John Fleming is dead and Mark's his heir. But if John were alive, he would warn you to leave here, Miss Van Gorder.
Really?
Yes. It's been a tragic place for anyone who ever lived in it. Well, good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Who's out there?
Nobody you need worry about, Doctor.
Oh, it's Andy.
That's right. Oh, good evening, Miss Van Gorder.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Somebody sick here?
My maid was bitten by a bat.
Oh. A rabid bat?
Well, I'll know for sure when I get to my lab. I caught the bat.
It happened indoors?
In my bedroom. Yes.
How'd it get in?
Well, there are many ways a bat could get in a house.
You ought to know. I spotted this hole in the window the minute I got here.
Why?
That's where the two-legged bat got your door open.
Miss Van Gorder told me that she phoned headquarters at Zenith.
Yes, I phoned twice. The second time was after the prowler got in the house.
Weren't you at headquarters, Andy?
No, but they contacted me.
An officer came and searched the house from top to bottom, but they couldn't find the bat.
You better have this window fixed tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I certainly shall.
Listen, I'd better be going. I'm due in surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
There will be a man patrolling the grounds all night, Miss Van Gorder.
Oh, thank you.
And nobody inside, Andy?
Why should there be?
Well, how do you know but what the bat is hiding somewhere in the house?
I'm quite sure he isn't in the house, Doctor. Not now. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Andy. Hello, Mark. Well, congratulations. Real estate business must be picking up. New office, new furniture.
New deal. How do you like it?
Looks expensive. Are you squandering your inheritance?
Oh, I haven't got it yet.
Well, the paper says John Fleming left his entire fortune to you.
Funny thing about that entire fortune is that we can't find it.
No kidding.
Oh, all Uncle John had in his bank account was a couple of $100. And his safe deposit box was empty.
If we don't find that missing million, mine will be empty, too.
How come?
Well, all my savings were invested in Zenith Bank stock. The examiners won't certify the bank as solvent until those stolen securities are found. So the stockholders have voted an assessment that will wipe some of us out. It's a since those securities have been converted into cash. And if I can't find that cash, I'm sunk.
Well, where are you going to look for it, Andy?
Here in Zenith. Your uncle wouldn't take $1 million on a hunting trip, would he?
You suspect Uncle John? Why, Andy, he founded the Zenith Bank. That'd be like robbing the family tomb.
You think he wouldn't?
Well, besides, Vic Bailey's fingerprints are all over the vault. Now, they didn't find any of Uncle John's fingerprints.
Because he wiped them off.
Can the defense prove that?
They'll try to. Judy Hollander, Bailey's secretary, is a defense witness. And they believe her testimony will have a powerful effect on the jury.
Oh, well, she has a powerful effect on me. Judy's a doll.
Here's the book you mentioned, Judy.
It's your newest one.
Yes, it's just been published. You can have that copy if you wish.
Oh, it's a first edition and you've signed it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
May I serve tea now, Miss Van Gorder?
Yes, please do, Warner.
Thank you.
Well, I see you've engaged new servants.
Yes, of course.
Well, how did you persuade them to live in this house?
Well, Jane Patterson, my new housekeeper, knows this house better than you do, Doctor.
Oh?
She worked for John Fleming. And Warner was my chauffeur.
Chauffeur turned butler?
Yes, incredible. He can play any part at a moment's notice. Did you get a plumber, Warner?
No, we can't get a plumber for 3 days, madam.
What about that leaking pipe? The basement will be flooded in 3 days.
The pipe is no longer leaking.
You mean it's dried up of its own accord?
No, not quite. I packed the elbow where the water was coming out.
Packed the elbow? Oh.
Thank you, madam.
Now, there's a character.
How long did you say that he worked for you as chauffeur?
About 3 months.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a police record. My dear Dale, it may interest you to know that the last night of his life, John Fleming told me that he loved your husband like a son. If Fleming were alive today, he would be fighting to prove Vic's innocence.
Could Mr. Fleming prove his own innocence?
Miss Van Gorder, can there be any doubt about it?
There will be when Miss Hollander testifies at Vic's trial.
Oh? You know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes. She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her. But let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million. Now, what would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this, instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house.
Under a loose floorboard or up a chimney?
If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it. Possibly when this house was being built. Now, I rented this place from Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he'd have the floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Mrs. Bailey the phone? Oh, you ask him now. Okay. His number is Summit 7537.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Not bad, eh, Andy? That means new business. Now, you see, somebody wants to buy a house. Mark Fleming speaking.
Oh, hello, Dale.
Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have him. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Well, somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute, there is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale. Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Well, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy, and a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Goodbye,
Doctor.
Dr. Will.
Come on, girls, let's go. I should be putting them down on paper. Weren't you your husband's secretary, Dale?
Yes, I was.
Do you take shorthand?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dear, if you'd like to have your mind occupied, I want you to work with me while I write the story of this fantastic criminal, the Bat.
Wonderful dinner.
Thank you. really nice. Good dinner, Lizzie, as usual.
Wonderful. Oh, what a lovely piece of silver. It's an original, isn't it?
Yes, they still use them in England for buffet breakfasts. Keeps your kippers hot, your sausages, your scrambled eggs. Interesting. It's very useful, really. That clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know. Somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very likely when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Oh,
Certainly to a secret something.
This is exciting.
Who knows, girls? We'll be about to stumble on that missing million.
Oh, there's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it. There always is.
Yes, it moves. It moves.
Calling car 11. Calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
Okay. Proceeding to the Oaks. Notify the county coroner, Dr. Wells. Tell him to come to the Oaks at once. Horrible.
As if his throat has been torn by some creature with fangs or claws.
That's his sign. We found it on the others he killed. I'd hoped those reports that he was up to his old tricks again were pure imagination, but apparently they're based on fact. He's come back. Back to the scene of his kills. Yes, that's who I mean. That's who did this. The bat. Who found Mark?
We all did. And his Dale and Judy and I. Lizzie was in the dining room. This is my new housekeeper, Jane Patterson. You know, she worked for John Fleming.
I know her. Where were you, Mrs. Patterson?
In the kitchen, cleaning up. I cooked the dinner tonight.
Did you know that the secret closet was here?
No. It was behind the grandfather's clock.
Well, it was I who found it, really. Noticed the clock had been moved and the door wasn't quite closed.
I'll get it.
Who is it? Mark Fleming.
As coroner, you saw the same wounds on the others. How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. You believe it was the bat?
That's a bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
Why should he be?
Because he's looking for something, and like you, he believes it's here. And he's a persistent killer. I would advise you to get out of this house as quickly as possible, notwithstanding our expert police protection. Have you called the morgue?
They're on their way here.
Oh, good. I want to examine the body before they get here. May we take it into another room?
Yes, to the sunroom in the back.
Thank you. Give me a hand.
Excuse me.
Oh, Warner, where have you been?
Well, madam, has it been an accident?
There's been a murder. Mark Fleming, the young man from whom I leased this place, was killed here tonight.
They know who did it?
Well, they believe it was the bat.
I'm sorry I had to use the front door, Miss Van Gorder, but I forgot my keys, and when I rang the bell at the kitchen door, there was no response.
Oh, this is Warner, Lieutenant. He's my butler. He was my chauffeur.
Why'd you promote him?
But it's very difficult to find a butler. They don't like service in the country.
Have you been a butler before?
I've served in many capacities, sir, but this was my night off, and I forgot my keys.
I heard that part. What time did you leave the house tonight?
Oh, about 6:30. I had dinner at Wiley's Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm. Can you prove where you spent the rest of the evening?
I can try.
Try hard. And don't leave the house. I'll get to you later.
Very good, sir. I shall be in my room, Miss Van Gorder, if you need me.
Yes, Warner. Surely you don't think he's...
Warren and I've met before. I can't recall where or when, but I will. There'll be a crew here shortly from headquarters, dusting for fingerprints, taking photographs. But in the meantime, Mrs. Patterson, you aren't leaving the house tonight, are you?
No, Lieutenant.
Don't. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Van Gorder.
Dale, I was with Mark Fleming this afternoon when you talked to him about the floor plans of this house. I heard him tell you he was coming here tonight.
Dale called him at my request. She told me he was coming.
Who else should I tell you that?
Judy, Lizzie.
And that nice Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells. There are a few killers who kill for the fun of it. That very likely is a mental case, and I'm convinced that his crimes are motivated by his mania for personal gain. There's $1 million at large, and he's going to keep on hunting for it until he lays his hands on it. Now, these young ladies are staying here tonight?
Yes, they're my house guests.
Well, when my crew arrives, we'll be busy for a while, so I'd suggest that
we go to our rooms? That's a very good idea. Come on, girls. What about a police guard for this house tonight, Lieutenant?
You've got one. I'm going to cover this place tonight from the attic to the basement. If the vet makes another call, I'll have a little surprise for him.
Who is he? Have you any idea?
He could be anybody. So far, there are clues to his identity, but nothing we could take before a jury. I'm afraid we must look higher than the criminal world. He may be a merchant, lawyer, doctor, scientist, one of the pillars of his community. Ladies, lock your doors tonight. Stay behind them. I promise you you'll be safe. Good night.
Good night, Lieutenant. Good night.
Poor Mark.
Yeah, it's a pity. So young. Well, Doctor, do you agree it was the bat?
In my report, I shall say the death was caused by the same technique used in the other killings. A paralyzing blow to the throat, followed by severe lacerations of the jugular, resulting in excessive hemorrhage.
In a layman's language, he didn't know what hit him.
Oh, he knew. But he didn't have time to think about it. You staying here tonight, Andy?
Well, until I check the doors and windows, but I'll be back bright and early in the morning.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
A lot of people are due for a shock when I close this case.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Good night, Andy. Don't get hurt.
Good night, Doctor.
You know, I think we'd better let you get some sleep.
Oh, well, Lizzie and I share this room for mutual protection. You know, one night, a storm blew the wires down, put the lights out, and I went out the next day and bought a half a dozen of these things. You better take one with you, Dale.
Oh, thank you.
We'll go across the hall now.
Are you sure there's nothing else you need?
Oh, no. Quite sure. We'll be all right.
Well, if anything bothers you, you just sing out, and 2 strong women will come to your rescue.
Oh, nothing will bother us. Not with Andy on the job.
No.
Well, good night.
Good night, Miss Van Gorder. See you in the
Don't
morning.
worry, everything will be all right.
We won't. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, I don't think I'll sleep tonight. Me neither. All I can see is poor Mark Fleming staring at us. I thought that when people died, their eyes closed, as in sleep. Don't think about it. I'll bet you're thinking about it. No, I was thinking of my poor husband sleeping in jail tonight. Oh, Judy, I love him so much.
What's that noise?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of fell half asleep. For a moment, I thought it was something from a dream.
It's somewhere in the house.
Yes, on the floor above. Not directly over us. Probably a room overlooking the driveway. Should we call Miss Van Gorder?
She'll hear it. How can she help but hear it? Besides, we don't want her to think we're a couple of hysterical women.
Well, I'm about to become one.
Dear.
I had it for one night. Dale, you're not going out in that hall.
I want to know what's happening up there.
But Lieutenant Anderson said if we stayed behind our locked doors, we'd be safe.
Vic isn't safe locked up in that jail. Suppose that stolen money is in this house. Mark Fleming seemed to think it was. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't you hear that awful noise up there? Now, Lizzie, you've just got to stay awake. The house phone and the outside phone wires have been cut, and we can't get help.
Where's that policeman?
Oh, I don't know. Something must have happened to him. Now, go on, get on your robe.
Oh, Dale, please don't go up there.
I've got to. Think what it could mean to Vic. Now, you stay here.
Oh, no. If you go, I go.
You stay here.
No, I won't let you go up there alone.
You wait here. I'm going to see what it is.
Oh, please let me go with you,
Judy,
Dale.
will you warn me if anyone comes? Now, leave me a moment. Now, wait.
Give it to me. I'll look after you. Poor baby.
Judy. The bat.
Yes, the bat. He caught her at the head of the stairs. We saw him rushing down the stairs as we came out of the room. I hurled that after him. I hit him, I believe. I'm going to cover this place from attic to basement, you said. Well, what were you covering when that poor child was murdered? Where were you?
I saw a man outside in the grounds. I went out there and hunted him. I heard him in among the trees, and so I followed the sound of him as far as the brook down near the back road. And then I lost him. I'd rather give my own life than have this happen to Judy. But I told you to stay in your rooms and lock your doors and stay there. What was she doing at the head of those stairs?
That was my fault.
They heard a strange noise, heavy pounding in one of the rooms on the third floor. We all heard it.
I wanted to see what it was. Judy, I wish she wouldn't let me go out by myself. I made her stay on the balcony.
What about your new butler?
Oh, well, he's in his room, I suppose.
Oh, Mrs. Patterson.
Oh, yes.
Did you know what happened here?
No, sir, but I heard the screams. I went to call Warner. We have rooms on the same floor, but he wasn't in his room. His bed hasn't been slept in.
If Mrs. Patterson heard the screams, Warner could certainly hear them.
You're quite right, sir. I heard them.
Oh, you did? And where were you?
Outside in the grounds.
Miss Holland has been murdered.
No.
Oh, so you're surprised. Shocked. Well, I've seen better performances. I remember you now. Your name's not Warner. I've got a circular in my office with your picture on it. The Chicago police not so long ago were hunting for you in connection with the robbery.
You're right again, sir. And they found me and they tried me and I proved my innocence and I was acquitted.
That could have been a lucky break. Where were you when this child was killed?
I told you before, sir. Outside.
What were you doing there?
I was following you. I saw you leaving the house and it seemed that you were hunting someone. I thought you might need some help. Oh, yes, sir. I followed your flashlight down through the trees. Then it disappeared. And then suddenly, as I was staring out into the darkness, I was struck by something on the back of the head. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground. I realized I'd been knocked out.
I wish you had been knocked out. But then we'd have found you with your mask still on your face. You were hit here in this house with this poker as you were rushing down those stairs after that child was killed.
Oh, no, sir. You can't pin this on me. I'm not the bat. I've never killed. I couldn't kill. I won't take the rap for this.
Well, Doctor, we have another case for the county coroner. You see, the bat came back. Why did you come back, Doctor?
Well, I had an accident about a mile down the road. The right rear wheel of my car came off and I plunged into the ditch. This was the nearest house, so I came here to call for help. I thought I'd find you around, Andy.
Physician, heal thyself. You must have been hit by something on the back of your head.
I told you I had an accident.
So you did, Doctor. So you did. I could be wrong. But maybe I'm not. We shall see.
All right, Dale, let's start a new chapter. For days, the murders held the headlines. Lieutenant Anderson grilled us and ransacked the house from top to bottom. Warner was not placed under arrest, but his every move was watched. At night, except for a detective on guard in the house, the police and the reporters left us alone. And on one of those nights, without telling Lizzie or anyone else, I pursued a secret investigation of my own. It was in an empty room on the 3rd floor where we kept our trunks and other things.
Put him up, man. It's a bright idea to kill me in my own lab and let people think that I'm the bat. But you had to kill me first. What was it to be? Ambush? And clever as you are, you're not smart enough to do that. Nor were you smart enough to find the money, though you came quite close to it. But I know where it is. And when you're dead with that sign pinned on your chest, I'm going to collect it and live happily ever after. He destroyed himself. How true that will be. Well, goodbye, Bat. Here's a serum that will heal you whether you're rabid or not.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia. Now, where would she be going at this time of night? Lamb's sake. I never. Oh. Mr. Davenport. Mr. Davenport. Oh, a fine thing. The door unbolted, the chain off, and you asleep on the job. Wait till Lieutenant Anderson hears about this. Come on, wake up. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. My head hurts. My whole body's numb.
Here, take a sip of this. Try to snap out of it. I'll be back in a minute. Hurry, will you? It's Lizzie. I'm terribly worried. I can't find Miss Cornelia anywhere, and something's happened to the policeman. I don't know what. Get Warner. Bring him to the drawing room. Tell him we need him. Are you all right now?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. I remember now. I took a drink of wine from that decanter there. Miss Van Gorder told me to help myself.
She wouldn't put nothing in it?
Well, somebody did. Somebody who knew I was on duty here.
Then it was somebody that got Miss Van Gorder. I can't find her anywhere. Upstairs, downstairs, or in the basement. I told the housekeeper to get Warner.
Lieutenant Anderson will want to know about this. Hello. Yeah, this is Davenport at the Oaks. We've got trouble here. Well, for one thing, I was drugged. Yeah. But I must have been knocked out because the maid tells me Miss Van Gorder is missing. Well, you better call Anderson and let him know. He's not at home. Well, where is he? Out on a case? What case? Dr. Wells. What else did they tell you about it?
Oh, hurry, will you? We've got to find Miss Cornelia.
Okay. Lieutenant Anderson is out on a case. Dr. Wells was found dead in a room next to his garage, murdered.
Dr. Wells?
There's something queer about the killing of Wells, but headquarters won't talk about it.
Lizzie, Warner isn't in his room. There's no sign of him anywhere.
And I was supposed to keep an eye on that guy.
Where's Miss Cornelia? That's what I want to know.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that the chain and the bolt were off of the front door?
I certainly did.
Well, maybe Miss Van Gorder went outside.
Oh, she never would. We better look.
I can't breathe. There's no air.
Miss Cornelia.
Oh, Miss Van
Miss
Gorder.
Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Miss Van Gorder.
Look. There's a light in that room on the 3rd floor. Were you up there tonight?
Well, of course I was, but I turned the lights out before I came downstairs.
And Miss Cornelia might have turned them on again. That's why we're going to look first. Come on. Cornelia. Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Yes, Lizzie. I'm here. Right here. Come to the mantelpiece.
Here we are, Miss Van Gorder. What do we do now?
Over the mantel, there are 5 panels. Strike it with your hand.
Which panel did you say, Miss Van Gorder?
Oh, I can't. I just can't.
Miss Van Gorder, which panel? We couldn't hear you.
She said strike it. What difference does it make which panel? Strike them all. Look.
Oh, it's all right now. It's all right, dear. Lizzie's here.
Feeling better?
Yes, much better.
We'll take you to your room.
Oh, no, you won't. I'm going to stay right here. I'm quite all right. Oh, how blessed it is to breathe without an effort. You know, no one knows how sweet the air can taste until someone shuts it off for a moment. That room is just like a box. When the mantelpiece closed, it seemed like all the air was drawn out of it. Look, there it goes again.
Let it close. I can open it from in here. There's a control panel behind this blueprint. Electric motor under the trap door here. Once the door is open, you can keep it that way. I believe that the fireplace in this other room opens the same way. And it does.
I tried to find this, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's back at this blueprint here. Yeah, it's quite a setup. Too bad we can't open that safe in the same way. Take an expert to crack this box or a shot of nitro.
Oh, maybe that's what the bat had in mind.
Could be. Seems he's on the prowl tonight.
Miss Van Gorder, Warner has disappeared.
And Dr. Wells has been murdered.
Dr. Wells?
Lieutenant Anderson's on that case right now.
Well, does he know what happened here tonight?
They got word to him. He'll be here any minute.
What's that noise? Miss Van Gorder, the garage is on fire.
Scott, look at that. Lizzie, put that light out in the other room. Now, where are you going?
to report the fire.
Well, you just stay right here.
But Miss Van Gorder, the garage.
Well, let it burn. You watch the stair. Can't you see that fire was set to get us out of the house?
Out of the house? Were you talking about the...
Yes, I'm talking about the bat. Now that the lights are out, he'll think his trick has worked, and we've gone. He'll be here any minute.
So will Lieutenant Anderson.
I hope so, but the bat will be here first. And he'll kill again if we're in his way. We've got to be as clever as he is.
But you'll be safer downstairs. I'll take care of you.
Well, the others can go, but I'm going to stay right here.
All right, but get out of sight.
Let's face it, ladies, and get it over with. Others have seen my face before they died, but I'll have to deny you that pleasure. This would make a good scene for your book, Miss Van Gorder, but I'm afraid you'll never write it.
That is Warner. I could tell.
You misjudged me, Miss Ellen.
Warner!
I don't like being a murder suspect, Miss Van Gorder. I was headed for a plane, but halfway to the airport, I changed my mind and came back. I'm glad that I did.
Why, it's Lieutenant Anderson. Yes, it was Anderson. He discovered the secret of the hidden room and was waiting to get into it and open up the safe. We found the money in it, a little over $1 million in tens and twenties and hundreds. Good old Andy. With all his ill-gotten gains invested in bank stock. It's rather a clever way to hide stolen money. In the open, as it were, and so respectable. But don't try it. No matter how clever you are, you can't hide murder. Well, that's it, Dale. That's the end.
Hold on a sec. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that movie. Well, you're very welcome. Very welcome. I'm gonna I'm gonna post this. I figured we could talk for a little bit before I have to go out and start my afternoon. Ah, what's up, Queen? Yeah, you caught the tail end of that. Well, you're very welcome, Wonga. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I mean, it was really good. I'd seen it before, and you know, I'm gonna try to do a few more of those copyright free movies every now and then. Um, just so we can watch something out here without getting hit. But some of them old movies is pretty interesting. You're very welcome, Super. Very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I done had 2 cups of coffee. I've done had my caffeine for the day. Exactly, Candy. Nude blondes. We might have to go backstage on that one. Oh, I didn't know this until I found out. Did y'all know Debbie Does Dallas is a copyright free public domain movie? I think that was 1978. I know, right, Wonga? I was I was looking. I come across that. I was looking to a list of copyright public domain movies that I could stream, and the list came up, and I was going down, and I passed it, and I was like, did I see that right? And I go back up, and it said, yeah, Debbie Does Dallas is a copyright free domain movie. I know we went from a bat to war to porn. Oh my goodness. One of these nights, if we can get on early enough, we can do some more movies and some more documentaries that we can't do here. And I know that Candy's got that thing. I think it's called Google Meets, and she can have up to 100 people backstage, and it's much clearer and stuff than through StreamYard. Ah, they used the shirts from. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, and because I think you have that Google Meets, Candy. I'm pretty sure we ain't gonna have 100 people, probably not even 20 or 15. But I mean, the quality of the video on Google Meets is the clarity of it is really good. There's Candy. Hold on, hon. Let me bring you up. There you go.
I'm all caffeined
You're
up.
caffeined up. Ooh.
Oh
My
boy.
goodness. I
Oh
hear you.
goodness. Happy afternoon, everybody.
I ain't kidding. Is that your second cup?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You know that coffee that I drank last night?
Yeah.
Remind me not to do that again.
Why?
I slept, but it took me a while to get to sleep. And I'm glad I didn't go for a second cup last night.
Oh man.
I think I finally dozed off around 5:30 this morning.
Oh man. Yeah. See, that's why I don't like to drink coffee at night.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, my eyes was burning and they were heavy. You know what I'm saying? But I just couldn't. I couldn't go to sleep like normal. And I'm like, oh man, you shouldn't have done that. But I did anyway. And I said I'd done that before. And I said I wasn't gonna do it again, but I did, and I paid for it again. So
Oh man. I was like, I hope you got at least some few hours of sleep.
yeah,
You know?
I finally dozed off around 5 o'clock this morning. And I got up, I think I woke up around 9:30 or something like that, 9 or 9:30.
Oh man. So I got, what time did I go to sleep? I think it was like 2:40. So 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 7 hours. Not too bad.
Not too
you know?
bad.
Debbie Does Dallas, the most seen porn movie in the world when it came out.
And no one says I don't think I want any Google Meet.
Oh, we
My goodness.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
But yeah, you know, movies, because we were talking about movies, it's different now. It's not that they don't put into movies like they used to, just in general. Like I look at the movies and it just seems like people put the bare minimum now. They don't really go into it like they used to.
Yeah, well, it's more cost efficient. It's cheaper to make, and they can put whatever they want to up there. But
yeah, like I'm not crazy about this whole futuristic CGI nonsense.
No. And because like back in the day, before they had all this technology, they had to make sets, even though they was on a sound stage. Most of them was, and you could tell the sets was made, with like if they do trees or woods or grass or something, that it was made. But still, somebody had to make it. They had to build facades inside. They had carpenters, electricians. You had real makeup artists that actually done prosthetic, those plastic or those rubber pieces, and they actually created this stuff, masks and all, and it was an art, really. And I mean, and it looked more realistic in a way.
Yes.
But
I thought that's what made it scary. Like
Yeah.
that it looks so real, and like they used a lot of imagination. They didn't have to do all this blood and gore like they do today on the movies. Like, to me, I don't find that scary when I see like these movies where there's blood coming out of people. It's just more disturbing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like to go out of a movie theater feeling disturbed. I like more like a thrill. Like, oh shoot, that was scary, man. Oh wow. Not so much, oh, I watched this movie and I was grossed out. Like that movie Saw. It's just nasty. Like, it's not really scary. It's more disturbing.
Yeah. And really, back in the older that I've gotten, I mean, back in the day in my teenage years and stuff, I mean, I liked horror movies, and some of them is really cool, still to this day, and they're really good. But now, I want to be, if I look at a horror picture, I want to be scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't want to, I don't care to see all that gore, not
No.
anymore.
I
Oh,
don't.
that guy.
It's never. Honestly, it takes away from the horror and the imagination, and it makes people think too much on the disturbing and
Yeah.
like all the blood gushing out and people split in half and everything. I mean, it's one thing. Okay, maybe one or two scenes is a little like they go a little out there. It looks a little disturbing, but it shouldn't be like that throughout the whole film.
Right.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
I mean,
being scared is one thing, by being surprised or whatever. But I've moved on to a different level in my life, and I just don't care to see all that gory stuff anymore. I mean, we see enough of that here in real life.
Yeah.
I don't care to see it in the movies anymore.
But as High Touch said, earlier theater artists were talented. Nowadays they do what their directed states them to do. Their director states them to do. Nowadays. So nowadays they do what their director tells them to do, but the thing is they're doing everything the cheap route and it ain't coming out good, the quality of the film. You're like, okay, like for instance, remember that movie Sharknado? I mean, come on now. Like you gotta be like really drunk or something to be watching that film.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really sad. Empress says, Gore, don't bother me. And he says it looks all fake. Yeah, it's like, it's a huge mystery where the actor who played Debbie became or what she might have died of. Some said the mafia killed her. Which movie is that? And it says here, Equalizer. Roland says Audie Murphy was a damn good actor and an American hero.
Yeah.
Audie Murphy.
Audie Murphy. Yeah, he was, gosh almighty, that if you never seen the documentary on Audie Murphy, he was he would make Rambo look sad. I mean, Audie Murphy, he was a bad mama jama, man, in our service. Whenever he was in the service, he took out a whole platoon by himself. So yeah.
But see, there's like some people just really gifted in, how to put it, I call it the art of the mind. Like they just know how to get into your mind. They know how to make you feel something real. They're just great at acting and emotions, and they just know how to make something look very realistic. That's a gifted talent.
It put a lot of work in the art, imagination into coming up with something back then. And to produce it, to make it, to think it up and actually make it by hand. I know that it took a lot more money and a lot more time, but still you had the quality after the fact. Not, it wasn't just like doing a program and doing a green screen and putting this up and that up and that, it actually took imagination to come up with it, and then produce it and make it physically. A lot of artistry involved in that.
It says, watch movie To Hell and Back. It's the story of Hit Life.
Oh, his life. He meant his life. Yeah, Audie Murphy's life. Yeah. That is, I mean, if you need to research Audie Murphy, he was a bad mama jama in the Army. I think he was in the Army or the Marines one. I forget which one it was, but he was in one of those. But
wow.
he was awesome, dude. Awesome.
I had to look this stuff up here. It says earlier it was real-time theater and acting. He said, high test.
And the plots nowadays, I can't follow them. They have no imagination in these writers as writers do nowadays.
No. It seems like if you watch a movie nowadays, everything is so predictable. You go on especially Lifetime for women. Oh gosh. Maybe back in the days the movies were okay. They were good. Nowadays you watch it, it's just a little too over the board. It's like, okay, this is too predictable and this sounds too crazy. Like, it's just everything it's too much. It's like the same films, a crazy man chasing a woman or a crazy obsessed woman chasing a man. And you just kind of predict what's going to happen at the end.
Exactly.
I said I watched Michael Jackson's Ghost movie last night. What a great talent and magical experience that film had. MJ was a magician of the industry. Truly greatest of all time. Yeah, Ghost. What? That sound familiar. Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson made a lot of, he was really talented. He was multi-talented. He was good at, acting, dancing, singing, performing, you name it. Shoot, I mean, he did moves that I don't know nobody else can really do, on a stage.
I remember seeing a movie, I think it was back in the 80s or early 90s, that had Patrick Swayze in it. And it had, what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg. I don't like that.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I don't like that one. But anyway, I think they done a movie called Ghost, and that was one terrible movie.
Yeah, some movies they make, sometimes you wonder how it even made it out to theaters. You're like, how the hell did this make it to theaters? It's so corny.
Roland wants y'all to hear something right quick. It's not very long. It's about Audie Murphy. Hold on a second.
According to Wikipedia, Audie Leon Murphy was an American soldier, actor, and songwriter.
Hold on a second. Here. All right, there. Let's see. Let me see if I can bring it up here. It says Audie Murphy.
Kicking me out of the room again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me get the word. World War II service.
Don't make fun of the Reds.
It said Murphy had always wanted to be a soldier. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in December of 1941, he tried to enlist, but the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps all turned him down for being underweight and underage. After his sister provided an affidavit that falsified his birth date by a year, he was accepted by the United States Army. After basic training, he was sent to Fort Meade for advanced infantry training. During basic training, he earned the marksman badge with rifle component bar and expert badge with bayonet component bar. Then it goes on and saying, let's see, that's a lot to read. But yeah, he took out, well, his decorations included the American Campaign Medal, the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with arrowhead device, campaign stars, World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal with Germany clasp, French Legion of Honor grade of Chevalier, French Croix de Guerre, something. The French Croix de Guerre with a palm, and French Libertarian Medal, French for something, I can't pronounce that word. Then let's see, what else?
Thanks, Arsenio. I gotta save that link so I can go ahead and look at it.
Let's see.
Movie Ghost.
Yeah, we'll have to do a documentary on him one night, but he was a bad mama jama though.
Oh man, we gotta do some movies in the back room. We gotta go set up the Google Meet somewhere this week or so.
Yeah,
watch some movies.
Yeah, and I've got some those documentaries that I lined up on my account on YouTube. Not YouTube, but Tubi. I was looking over them the other night and got them on my list of watching.
Yeah. I'll say, I just, because that way, we can watch all sorts of stuff. I mean, heck, we can even watch that ghost movie that Arsenio is showing us about, some Audie movies, some classics like Scarface. I love Scarface.
Oh, yeah. I like Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
And The Bronx Tale.
Yes. That was a good movie.
That was Bronx Tale. Movie. The Bronx Tale, yep.
Yes.
It had what's his face in it. I forget his name. I can't remember his name. The one that played in Bronx Tale. the son of what's his face? Oh crap! He died not recently. He died recently.
Oh man.
Shoot,
See, I'm
I
not good
almost
with names all the time. I'm trying to
I
think,
got
but I
his face.
remember the characters.
Yeah. I forget his damn name, but anyway, he passed away not long ago. But he played in the Bronx Tale. That was a real good movie.
I know. I like it. It also taught a lot about life, like valuable lesson about life, like how. Because remember in the movie, the kids they were in the car, how quick their life was going
Mm-hmm.
when they joined in. Thankfully, the guy didn't get in the car with them that day.
Yeah.
And ended up they were all burnt and stuff. I was like, oh shoot, and the people were all happy about it too. I was like, oh man.
Maybe one night we can watch Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's funny. Arsenio says Scarface is my favorite gangster movie ever. I know that's a good movie. A very good movie. Scarface. Godfather is good too. I like, part 1. That was really good. I don't think I've seen part 2 though of Godfather, the whole thing though. I don't know if I did. I have to see, but Scarface, yes. Really good movie. But I don't see a lot of those type of movies. You don't see them like a lot of those kind of movies anymore. No, like you try to look for it in the theaters, but you go in the theaters and it's just like, okay, blah, I'll just wait until this come out on Netflix or something or Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but Arsenio, we got to do some classic movies backstage. Like get a little bit, go back in the days a little bit. Watch some of these bad boy movies. Oh man, what's another good one that I like? I'm not a big fan of romance. I don't know. I've just never like those little romance comedy movies. I've never really been into those kind of movies before. Like, I don't know. Doesn't grasp me,
Yeah.
Like what grabs me is like action, thriller, and like those Terminator action movies. Anaconda, I like that movie too.
Oh yeah,
Anaconda.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Anaconda was good.
What's that? Ant-Man Quantumania.
Let's see. I'll go back on comments.
Ant-Man Quantumania looks epic. I'm gonna go cinema to watch that.
Oh, Ant-Man. I was like, I saw the Wonder Woman. That was pretty okay. It was good. My friend didn't really like it though, because she's more into like the classic Wonder Woman. And he says, I hate romantic comedy films. They're so corny. Yeah, that's the word. They're corny. Like I don't find them to be interesting. Boring. And it says, I saw Anaconda in the cinema when it came out. It blew my mind. I know. I love that movie. My grandmother was the one that showed us that movie. I was younger. I was like 8 years old. And she's like, you guys want to see a movie? I got a good movie for you guys to watch. That's how she used to talk. she had like this very baby voice. And she'll be like, I got a movie for you to watch. And she'll put it on. And she always had to watch some crazy movies, like snakes coming out ready to just eat somebody.
My good. I'll tell you another good movie I seen, but I hadn't seen it in a while. That was Stand By Me.
Oh,
by Stephen King. I think it was by Stephen King.
Oh, well, now him, him. Now he was a sick puppy with his movies.
But this one wasn't. It was one of his different type of movies. I think it was originally called The Body, but Stand By Me. It wasn't a gory film. It was just a adventure of a bunch of buddies, and they went out. I mean, it's a really good movie. It's called Stand By Me.
I gotta see that. The Stephen King movies I've watched, definitely one of them was The Shining. I loved that movie since I was a little girl. The one that came out over the Here's Johnny. Oh! That lady that was in the movie so dopey, wasn't she?
Oh,
the lady in the movie.
Do you know do you know that movie was based on a true event?
No.
Persona. It wasn't based on a true story. It was all made up, fictional. But Stephen King, because he's the one that done that, I believe, wasn't it? Wasn't it
Yeah.
Stephen King? There was a hotel out, is it Utah, Colorado, that was haunted. And he actually spent the night in a room out there, and he had an experiences and with a spirit, and that's how he produced that story.
Wow.
You
He said he used to write down in a dark room downstairs, write his books. I was like, that's creepy. I'm like, I guess it got him thinking a lot, got him in a mood of stuff. But that's the one where the kids went looking for the body.
Yes, that was the Stand By Me movie.
Wow.
Jill is talking about. Yeah, but it's really good.
He made a lot of films that would freak you out. Like he made Doctor Sleep over the past couple of years. I think it was Doctor Sleep. That was the second part to the book, The Shining. And he did Children of the Corn. If you remember that one. He did another one about robots in the future when robots taking over the world. Yeah, that was a good one.
You want to see a fooked up film? Try watch John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. I dare you. I double dare you.
Oh man, I may end up with some bad dreams. And my mind is nuts.
At least Wonga didn't go with that double dog dare you. I triple dog dare you.
Hey Colin, what's going
up, Colin?
on? But yeah, those films, man. See, I get crazy dreams. I don't know about you guys, but I have dreams all the time. Like almost every night, I'm having a wild dream.
Oh, I know.
I'm
Colin.
trying to remember.
Colin, I would love to have you up here, but I've got to soon go in about that time. I've got some chores to do in a little bit. But I'm just killing time. But if you're on later tonight, if nothing don't happen, I should be streaming again tonight. And then if we get time early enough, we can go backstage again.
Yeah.
Because what's up, Angie? Hey.
Angie, leave a sister. Leave a sister. Sister. Oh boy. How you doing, Angie? But yeah, I'm like, I don't know about everybody else, but I just have crazy, wild, livid dreams, and they're crazy. You know what I mean? Like they can get really wild and weird.
Oh, I know.
And I think I had one recently, and it was just the weirdest dream. I said, "What in the world?" Like I'm trying to remember what happened, but it was just so weird. Like, I think like in the dream, like there was people who wanted to do some weird stuff like sexual things, and I was trying to run away. I said, let me get the heck out of here, and sometimes it gets crazy and bloody and gory. And I had a dream, says Candy, watch it with the lights on. It will give you nightmares as it has nightmare scenes in it, and they are the most horrific things I've seen in a horror movie, as it's psychologically unsettling. Oh man. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm scared. My mind is already screwed. I had a dream one time. Me and my sister went to this hotel, and I'll never forget this dream. It was so weird. But you can tell sometimes the dreams that are like they feel realistic and they seem like it's a warning, like something's coming. Like there's certain dreams you have that doesn't feel like a dream. It feels real. And then there's ones that is a dream, but it's odd and you wonder what it means. And I was with my sister in this hotel with my nephews, and in the hotel felt some weirdness going on in there. And they had walls blocked off, and they come to find out the walls were moving in. And there was a whole nother section in the hotel where people were getting like killed and tortured by this man with wooden legs. Oh, I'm serious. That's what happened in the dream. And I'm sitting there like, Sister Nigel, we got to get out of here. I said, get the kids, get out of here right now. And I picked everything up. And the guy with the wooden legs wouldn't let no one leave. If you try to leave, he'd kill you. So the only way you survive if you stay there. If you try to leave and he finds out you're leaving him, he would run and chop you up with his wooden legs. He'd take one leg and literally like slam it on you and you're dead. And so he knew how to like do karate.
That reminds me of this joke.
They're running, they're running real fast, trying to bust out the door because he was running around. He was like flipping in the air, just killing people with one wooden leg. And somehow, if you left, they still found you. So I said, I'm walking out in the street, and then I saw that he found somebody. He had somebody come and exterminate someone with fire, and they blew her on fire. I was like, ah! That dream was crazy. I'm telling you. I woke up so frightened. I said, what the hell is this about?
It's like the old joke that said that there was this guy talking to his buddy and said, his buddy says, "You look like you've been in a fight." And the guy says, "Yeah." He says, "But during the fight," he said, "my wooden leg hurt me." And his buddy says, "Wait a minute." He says, you can't feel pain in a wooden leg." He said, "Yeah." He said, "But during the fight," he said, "the guy took it off of me and started beating me with it." Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, like, these dreams, they get so nutty. I'm like, what the heck was about? And then I had another dream about a serial killer. Supposedly he was and I woke up real frightened from it. Like, it was scary. It was as if like I was each one of those women being murdered. It was strange. Like, I felt like I was in their body or something. And he would kill them and stuff like that. And I was in them, like seeing the whole view and everything. It was so freaky. Or I would see it from third person party. And then the last person that died, she was bundled under a bridge. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was so scared. And she was deep down. He threw her body down there, and like she was just stuck there, and then something crushed her body.
Wow.
And yeah, that happened in the dream too. And I was frightened, really frightened. I said, oh my gosh, what the hell was that all about? And I'm like, oh my goodness, it had me freaked out. I had that dream about what, I would say maybe 3 years ago. Oh, wow. And it was really disturbing. I said, why am I dreaming about a serial killer? And me seeing like what he's doing to all these people. I'm just like, some dreams is okay, and then some dreams are just extremely disturbing, and you start wondering what they mean.
Did you hear about that guy that had 2 wooden legs and they caught fire?
What?
Did you hear about the guy that had 2 wooden legs and they caught fire?
No. When did this happen?
Oh, I can't remember, but he was burnt to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
He had 2 wooden legs that caught fire. He was burnt to the ground.
Oh gosh. It's like you're scared because I had a dream.
It's just another little corny joke. He had 2 wooden legs that caught fire and he was burnt to the ground.
I would really be freaked out. I mean, sometimes I wonder like what my dreams are telling me. And there's one though this one wasn't like a serial killer or nothing, but this one seemed more like it meant something. I don't know, it was so weird. I was walking in the middle of a mall, and this boy, I think I told you guys about this last year. It was a boy, looked to be about 6 years old, and he came up to us. He was quiet, and I was trying to figure out, why he came up to us so like confident. He had no no emotions. He wasn't scared or anything. And I think we bought him something because we felt bad. And it says, "Where's your parents?" And he just was staring at me like, as if like he didn't know who his parents was. He was lost, a lost child. And so, okay, let me go walk you around. And we're walking him around the mall looking for his parents. I'm starting to get anxiety. Like, what's going on? Where's his parents at? Where's your mommy? And I thought he was mute or something, like he couldn't talk. So then I ended up keeping the kid around me because I was like, freaking out. Like, nobody knows whose child this is. He's been lost in the mall. And I ended up taking him to a school. I think he finally spoke and told me to take him to the school. And I took him there, and this was this room number. I forgot the room number. It started with a 2. I think it was 234 or something like that. And when I walked in, I sat the child down, and I saw the teacher and told him, this child's lost. His parent has been around. What's going on? The teachers were so like narcissistic, and they had no emotions, no feelings or anything. They were just like staring at me like, okay. He's like, what do you mean, okay? Like, I'm freaking out. Like, this kid's parents are not around. You guys don't even care. And I'm freaking out in the dream, like ready to hurt somebody, because it's like everybody just seemed like they had no kind of empathy. It's like feelings and love was lost. And I look back at the teacher and I say, I hope this happens to your kid, so you can see what this feels like. And the kid is sitting in the classroom, and like nobody cared. There was 2 teachers in there, and they just had no feelings at all whatsoever. Like there was no feelings, no love, no society. The society was so cold. And then when I left, something told me to go back, and then I woke up. It was just creepy.
Empress says, I had one where every door I went through was a different building.
Oh my gosh.
Imp Stream. And if you walked through and turned around, the whole area was gone.
Oh my goodness.
The more you tried to get back, the more lost you became. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. That's creepy,
I ain't kidding, right?
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. That sounds like a really scary dream. Like you feel like you can't turn back around. Like that's it. You're in a new realm.
Right. that's crazy. But that's where most of your nightmares and stuff come from. And your imagination. I mean, it can literally scare the crap out of you.
Yes.
Your imagination. And a long time ago in them older movies, before they put the gore and stuff in the blood and stuff, especially, like in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, those old scary movies, where somebody's going to go to kill somebody. They'll show the person going to stab somebody with a knife, and then they'll cut away, and you can hear it, but you don't see it. And then in your mind, you can like picture the way you think it's happening,
Yeah.
But it was different time back then, than what it is now.
I mean, it's weird. Like you start wondering, it makes you question, like, why do you have these dreams? Like some of these dreams, it's like, it's kooky. Like, what the heck? Like,
Lawnmower Man Part 2 is on tonight. I got you. I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I know it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Arsenio says, I'm calling movie of the year right now. It's coming out in March, but I'm going to say it will be the best movie of the year. Guess what? It's called Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. Oh my goodness.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, it's like dreams. You just don't know what they mean sometimes. You'd be like, what the hell? And there's different kinds. Like, and then some dreams, they actually happen. You actually have the dream, and then you'd be like, oh shit, this really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple of days or a week later, you'd be like, what the hell? It's but the ones I don't like is those ones that are very disturbing, like those ones that just leave you off waking up. Like, what the heck did that mean? Says I've seen a lot of good movies, but I think the best movie I've seen is Young Guns. Now, I don't think I've seen that movie.
Ooh, that's a good movie, Young Guns. That was actually based on true events.
Oh man,
Young Guns has got I think it was like 1988, the late 80s. It had Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen. What was that dude that played? Crap. He was a Navajo Indian. Oh, crap. I know his name. I see his face, but I can't call his name.
Oh, man.
He was a big star. I mean, they had the old 80s stars back then.
Wow.
Those big names. Lou Diamond Phillips and Jack Palance played in it. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen. It's a really good movie, and that movie was based on true events. It's called Young
Wow.
Guns.
So I want to see that. We got to see these movies because I don't want to miss out on good movies, you know?
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips was his name, Wonga. Yep.
Name.
Yep.
Wow.
But it was
You
a
know,
really
got to
good movie.
definitely look at these. But, yeah. Have you have any weird dreams, EQ?
Oh, Lord, I've had some. I had to save them for another night.
Okay. I was like, I hope I'm not the only one to have these crazy weird dreams.
No. I had one right quick. I had one where I dreamt I was going down this road, and it was, it was not dark. It was, had trees on the side of it. But the further I went down it, the narrower it got. And it was like that the road was shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until it started getting darker. And then there was an obstacle. I had to go around that obstacle. It was this, it was that, and it kept getting darker and darker, and the road kept getting smaller and smaller. And then then it forked, left and right. And I mean, it was disturbing to me. And I was like to myself, I said, what in the world? Whenever I woke up, I mean, it really wasn't all that scary, but it was unnerving,
Disturbing, yeah.
Feeling of, what's that?
Like claustrophobic.
Yeah. And anxiety. And, whenever I woke up and thought about it, and it took me a while to kind of figure it out, but then I realized it was my life at that point, because things kept going down and down until I had obstacles in front of me. Then I came to a fork, and I had to, make a decision which way I wanted to go. And and that's that's what I contributed that dream to.
It's crazy. Like, as your dreams tells you a lot of things. The last one I had that I really remember was going to this place. We went to like a bunker place. It's like a bunkers, and the rooms were like so tiny that Queen says, interesting dream. It is. It's like, like the room is the road is getting tighter. I would get anxiety, like, oh my gosh. But these rooms are like bunker rooms. They were so tiny that you couldn't even stand up in them. You had to crawl into the room and then close the door, and the locks were barely able to lock. And I'm like, wow, we're in this room. And I was downstairs, and they were asking me about my husband's job. And I said to them, well, he's not working right now, And they said, what do you mean he's not working right now? And they went and they were putting his information into the computer system, and they gave me a room number. You go up there, and there's a man that runs into my bunker. He had to climb in there. He had to crawl because we couldn't stand up in there. And he says, you got to get out of this place. Get out now. And I said, what are you talking about? He says, this place is bad. And I'm looking around, right? And I hear like something going on, like a scream. Ah! I said, oh man. And the door could barely like lock. The thing was like branky danky. And so I tried to get out of there, and I was warned. She's like, get it. I was crawling in there. I was like, guys, let's go now. Let's get out of here. And as soon as I get out, I heard a voice, and it says, I'll see you soon. I'll see you there. And then I woke up. I said, what the hell? I said, never again. I said, I don't want to have that dream. He says, I'll see you there.
You remember that night that me and you was talking, and I had that dream about the snakes biting me?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Vipers. Yeah. You remember that?
Tell me what happened again in that dream. I remember you saying they were snipping, like they were like trying to snip at you.
Oh, them, me and you was backstage, and we was talking, and after I left, I went to bed that night, and I had a dream that I was in amongst a bunch of pit vipers.
Yeah.
And they were striking at me, and I was knocking them down or whatever, trying to bite me. And you remember we was backstage with, some other parties.
Yes.
And And I had that dream afterwards, and I was telling you about it.
Yep.
And you kind of come to the conclusion of what it was meaning.
What it meant, yes.
Yep,
I said it means like, the snakes has a meaning behind it.
Yep. You remember.
Yes.
Yep.
And but it's true. Like sometimes your dreams reveal things to you in different ways. Like it may not be exactly like it's not saying you're going to get bit by a real snake, but it means something.
It means something.
You know what I mean? And it means
watch.
It's a warning.
Yeah, that you better watch things because they could be some snakes around.
Yeah.
That's poisonous.
It's poisonous. They may come off sweet, but they're snakes in disguise.
Yeah,
and that's why
as the old saying goes, a snake will smile at you before he bites you.
Yes.
Because he's got to open his mouth and show his teeth.
I like having this imagination. You're like standing there, these snakes, and you're wrestling them off your back. Get off me, you gas snake! The snake's like, you're kicking them out of the way. You got the sword like slicing them in half as they're trying to jump over.
Exactly. What's up, Doctor? Be right back.
Hi, Doctor.
But yeah, it took me a while to realize that terminology. Even snakes will smile at you before they bite you because they open their mouth and they show you their teeth, and then whenever they do that, they're going to strike. So
strike right at you at a time you least expect it.
And they'll do it in a heartbeat. I mean, a split second. And it's poisonous. Yes. So that dream kind of was like, oh, that is kind of weird.
Yes. I was scared. I said, oh man, I don't like snakes either. I was like, ooh, all slimy feeling. I'm like, ooh, can only imagine. And Arsenio says, what was that film where the girl had powers and she went crazy after being bullied and dropped her bullies by one? I can't remember the name. Carrie? That's another Stephen King's film.
Mm.
The Carrie is my girl. I liked her back in the days. Shoot, I could relate to her. I want the black version of her.
That's when you feed the snake a bullet.
Just hungry. Ugh, snakes. Ugh. Just imagine touching them or nasty, slimy skin. Ugh.
I ain't kidding.
But, or the dreams about bugs, it's like those are the worst,
Yeah. Oh gosh. I just creepy. And then they're wanting us to eat them.
I'm not eating no bug, this is freak that, I don't care what they do. They can grind it up all they want in that meat, that fake meat they got. I was like, I don't want to eat it.
Candy, yeah, that's the one. Carrie, I love that film. And Colin says there's a movie with Keith O'Sutherland in it where him and a few guys have an injection to see what it's like to feel like they have died. I can't think of the name of it. I can't either.
Can't think of it. Oh man, I gotta look that up. Guys have an injection. Snakes are no bad. Snakes are no bad.
Certain ones are.
Oh man, I remember my friend's backyard. She had a couple of snakes back there. I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah,
Flatline.
D-Rack. Doctor, be right back, Lucas.
Doctor.
I don't know if that's what it means, but I always call him Doctor, be right back.
Be right back. Got to pull out a needle for us.
I'll tell you, that reminds me of something. That movie, Dr. Giggles.
Oh, yes.
I completely went out of my mind whenever I seen Dr. Be Right Back and we was talking about horror pictures. It reminded me of Dr. Giggles.
Giggles. I used to watch that when I was a little girl.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Oh my gosh. The last time I seen Dr. Giggles, I had been about 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, because I remember it was like in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, I remember basically some of the movie, because I think that his Dr. Giggles' father was a physician, and his mother, the boy's mother, died, and his father was trying to save his mother, or his wife, and she passed away. Well, Dr. Giggles wanted to become a physician like his dad, and he was going about it all the wrong way, and then at the last, I think he fell in love with some woman, and she had a heart condition or something, and he was trying to fix her, and he was going around getting these hearts or something. I forget exactly what it was. His meaning was well, but it was all disturbing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the scene where, he put the girls eating all that ice cream. He put the thing in the back of her mouth.
That stomach. all that sugar,
oh my gosh.
All that sugar is not good for you. I'm sorry. We're going to have to pump your stomach out. Ooh, I remember that.
Oh, man. Dr. Giggles, the only thing I can relate to him is that giggling. That's about it, But he comes, but other than that, like, I can't roll with you, man. I'll be running out the door. Oh, man.
Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. And you remember They Live, that movie we watched, They Live?
Oh, yes. That was good.
That was a good one.
That was a good film. Yes. That was my first time watching it. And it really reminds me of what's going on today in society.
Yep. Predator was a good movie. The original Predator. And also, what was it? Predator versus Alien. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one too. But they made all these franchises, like you had was it Nightmare on Elm Street up to about 5 or 6, which they get boring after a while because they're all about the same. They're not like the original ones.
I think after the second movie, I mean, if there's nothing else like a sequel or something to get people like saying, well, what happened? What's interesting here? They should just stop making the movie. Yeah. It's like, you
lose interest, like how many Friday the 13th, how many
Michael Myers,
Halloween. I mean, you can only drag something out so far, and then it's like, okay, it's the same old stuff, but you can't really mess with the originals most of the time. Even if they have a sequel, the sequels is not as good as the original ones.
No, it'll never be the original. Like I said, like if to reenact something that's a classic, it's never going to be the same because it was a different time era. It was more spookier. The quality was different. Like you see all the films, it was different quality of things.
Exactly.
It's more like a setting without this technology. People had no cell phones. Everything was just like quiet. Less lights on the streets, less people knowing everything. It's just also different. You can't reenact it.
Also, have y'all seen Tremors?
Tremors.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that the one where there was like a
big underground something other that would come up whenever they felt vibration?
Oh yeah, the monsters under the sand, and they were like coming up and making rolls.
Yeah, it was like who was it? Kevin Bacon, I think he was in there, and who was the other guy? His partner, I forget. And Reba McEntire was in it, and then God, that was back in the 80s or early 90s. I think they come out with two or three of them, but the first one was really good. Yeah, Arsenio said Tremors was brilliant. Yeah, it was.
Remember this movie, The Blob?
Mm-hmm. I do.
They have a black and white one, and then they had the one from the 80s.
Roland says killer clowns from outer space.
The space. Some of the movies were corny, but some of them were pretty good. One that I did like. He says, "Now that was funny." He said, "Roland."
God.
That's the killer clowns out of space. One movie I did like was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Now that wasn't so much like a horror, it was more like a suspense, drama film.
Yeah.
And the sister was crazy. She ended up killing people later on. And it was all black and white. They had it remade in the 80s, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
the original.
So rubbery. Them big slug things, yeah.
Big slug things.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What was that one? Gosh. I'll think of it in a minute. This boy and girl, they were brother and sister going cross country. And they seen this old truck coming up behind them. And then he passes them. And then they pass a church and he's dumping this body down this shaft. Shoot, what was the name of that?
Was it like two brothers?
No, it was
together.
A boy and girl. They were
boy and girl.
Oh Christ, I know it. I could see him. Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never got into that movie. I don't know why though.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. That was pretty good when the first one was.
Jeepers Creepers.
And actually, that movie was loosely based on a true story. Loosely. I mean, it was inspired by actual events. It wasn't a true story, but somebody took events that really happened and turned it, made a story out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers.
Boy. Jeepers Creepers.
Mm-hmm.
Jeepers Creepers. What's another good one? Scream. I like Scream 1. Scream 1 was pretty good. But honestly, I don't think there was a need to do a sequel to that movie.
No. I mean, that's another one they run into the ground. But I mean, as long as they think they can make $1 off of a sequel, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that them sequels does as good as the original one.
Yeah. I think that should, after that first one, that should have been it. Like, okay, made your horror film, they killed the guy, we need to keep making a part 2, part 3. It just got a little wacko after a while.
Urban Legend.
And Urban Legend.
I vaguely remember that one. I don't think I've ever seen it though.
I remember. We gotta watch that backstage. Yeah, I might have watched it because there's so many movies I forgot the names to. And
what was that movie that they made 2 or 3 sequels out of? It was about them students being on a plane and something happened, and then they got off the plane. And then slowly but surely, everybody that was on that plane that was supposed to have died and it went down, it slowly went and killed each one up. What was the name of that movie? I've seen it. Oh, Christ.
Oh, man. Was there like cannibals or something on the plane? They were eating the bodies or something? Or I'm thinking of something different.
No, this one was, there was a class, a group of students with some chaperones going to somewhere, and they boarded this plane, and something was supposed to make the plane go down and crash and kill everybody on it. But Final Destination, that's what it was, Arsenio. Final Destination. The first one was good. Now the second one wasn't all that great, but the first one was really good. I liked it.
It's another good movie.
Been watching myself whenever I went out. Mess me up.
Probably I be watching myself whenever I go somewhere. I mean, it's kind of scary. You watch like movies about planes, you don't really know who's operating the plane and where their mindset is.
That's right.
I mean, you gotta make sure they're in good mental health or so, because you don't know. It could have crazy thoughts in their head, like, let me send them off to an island, take them to this freaky scientific place. The lab. They're driving. They go off the grid, and next thing you know, they're out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you a movie I seen one time, and it's I think it was like in the 1950s. It had Leslie Nielsen in it, and had a few other pretty good big stars. And Robbie the Robot was in this one. It was called Forbidden Planet, and I've watched that numerous times. Forbidden Planet is a good one. And then there was one The original Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was another good one. I like that also.
What was it? Because you were talking about this robot, right? What was the name of this movie? It was a robot. He took a basketball and busted a lady's head open or something. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's going way back. I think it's in the 80s. It's a movie. And there was another one I saw a couple of times when I was younger. It was about these, I think there were aliens or something coming down, and there was this little boy in it. And at the end of the movie, he come to find out that he thought he was dreaming, and then he really saw that his parents turned into aliens or something. It was weird. Trying to remember that movie, and I don't remember it. I wish I could remember the name.
Oh, Colin's got both of them. Cool. Awesome. Passenger 54, Roland says, was a good one. Yeah, that Wesley Snipes. That was real good.
Passenger 54.
That's a good one, Wesley Snipes. I think that was like early to mid 90s. And then there was another one that had Mel Gibson in it? Ransom. Yeah. I think it was called Ransom. That was a good one, but that wasn't a horror picture. But let's see.
Candy, was it called Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I think that might have been it, Arsenio. Yes.
That was
I think that's what it was called.
1978 or 1979. Steven Spielberg, I think. That was a good movie. It had Richard Dreyfuss in that one. Roland says Enemy of the State was good. I've never seen that one.
I heard that movie before. I'm just trying to remember what happened to that movie. But I remember Enemy of the State. I'm just trying to remember which one.
Was that Will Smith? No.
I think that had Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, if I'm not mistaken. He went to the future.
Independence Day was really good.
Oh yeah.
And then that one with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, where Sylvester Stallone was a cop and Wesley Snipes was a criminal, and they were frozen cryogenically, and they woke up in the future. Oh, what was the name of that movie? And Taco Bell was the #1 fancy restaurant, and it had Sandra Bullock in it. What was it called? Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
Oh, yeah. Demolition Man.
Yeah, that was a good one. What's up, Jeff?
Hi, Jeff. Mel Gibson, Conspiracy Theory was a good film. I didn't know he made that movie called Conspiracy Theory. I got to look at that. Oh man, there's so many movies. Like I'm like now coming back to my memory that I haven't seen in a long time. I want to go backstage and have like throwback movies and just kind of.
That would be so awesome, Candy. I mean, just to if you could do that on Google Meets and post it, where we could all go backstage and pick a old movie from the 80s or 90s,
called throwback
movies or something, old throwback movies, 80s and 90s. That would be so awesome.
Yeah,
I believe you'd have a pretty good crowd back there.
Yes, we get some popcorn ready. Mm-hmm. Tell people to turn off their lights and shut their doors. There's nothing to be afraid. Yeah. Or say, lock your doors, close your windows, and turn off the lights.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid because it's a secret.
I think something else too that we haven't, or you haven't done in a while, and that was the one with the what was it? That was based on a true story. It was like in the 60s and late 50s.
Oh man.
You done a few of them. Steps Beyond, but
you're one step beyond. Yes, we got to do that again.
Yeah, and the old Twilight Zone, the original Twilight Zone.
I love Twilight Zone.
What was the other one? We control the horizontal, the volume, the vertical. We can turn down the volume or make it loud. What the hell was that called?
Oh man.
Shoot.
Not Beyond Belief. Oh man, I'm
One
already
step
forgetting.
beyond. One step beyond.
One Step Beyond. There's Twilight Zone. Um, it's not an Alfred Hitchcock film, right? No,
No.
it's not one of those.
But it was like the Twilight Zone. But it says, there's nothing wrong with your TV. We control the volume. Outer Limits. That's right.
Oh, Outer Limits.
Yep, that was pretty good too.
I wanted Sandra Bullock so bad. She was so hot in Demolition Man. Woo, Arsenio.
And that one movie, they done Speed, the original Speed, where the Keanu Reeves on that bus with Sandra Bullock, and what's his name? Put the bomb. He was an ex-cop, and he put the bomb on the bus, and if it fell below a certain speed, it would blow up.
Oh man. Oh, that kind of sounds like something that a movie that Denzel Washington was on a train, and they couldn't stop it at a certain speed or
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a runaway train, and it was unmanned, and that was actually based loosely on true events. Yeah.
Oh man.
Back in, I forget the name of, it was Seaboard. It was CSX train, and that was back in the 90s or early 2000s, I think. They were actually moving it from a yard, and one of the guys got off the train and was going to switch the track, and it was rolling too fast for him to get back on it. It was actually a runaway train, and they actually stopped it, with another train. And I mean, it was loosely based on a true story.
Wow.
Yeah. Dennis Hopper, he played in that. Dennis Hopper played in Speed.
Jeff said he's working on a very short film. What's the short film about, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff. Is it got the detective in it?
Yeah, Detective Jones. Yep. Oh boy!
I'm waiting for you to get the full movie out.
But you know what disturbed me as a child? It wasn't scary. It was actually like a comedy, like a comedy show. Coneheads. I don't know why those people freaked me out.
Coneheads, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I just thought of one. It's a comedy, and it's a classic. Oh my gosh, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, I heard that before.
With Marissa Tomei, and Joe Pesci, and Ralph Macchio. Yeah, Fred Gwynn. My Cousin Vinny. That is hilarious. My Cousin Vinny. We definitely got to mark that down to watch that. My Cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny. We're gonna be watching a variety of things: action, horror. We're gonna be seeing some comedy. Those three are pretty good there. For some throwback shows. Going from anywhere between we'll say anywhere between the 60s to like 90s, shows.
What was that guy? He played in The Great Outdoors. John Candy. That was Great Outdoors, a good movie. John Candy played in The Great Outdoors. Then oh gosh, I forget his damn name. And I know it. He played in Ghostbusters. Not Bill Murray. Man. Not the one that played Yvonne Venkman, the other one. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. I know his name. He's a Canadian. Bald head. Shoot. Dan Aykroyd. Thank you, Arsenio. Dan Aykroyd. He played in The Great Outdoors. That was a funny movie, too. Gosh, we've gotta watch these together backstage one day, and hopefully, we can do it on your Google Meets because you can have more people and it's a lot clearer.
Yeah, at least up to 100, and could sit down and have some popcorn, some coffee, some wine, some beer. You got your Southern Comfort. You get a couple of shots
or some Morgans. Captain Morgan's.
From Captain Morgan's.
Yep. The captain will be
Ginger,
in
she
the
got her
lead.
cinnamon shots or whatever.
Yeah, fireballs.
What are they call fireballs? Yeah, fireballs, and you know, we'll have a
Green
really good time.
Mm-hmm. Casino. I never seen that one.
Another
Oh
good
yeah.
one. Yeah, we'll have a really good time.
Christmas Vacation was a good one.
Yes.
Oh, we could have some fun with this stuff, you know. And the thing about it is, you know, we can all get together and have a good time backstage watching these movies as a group. And then we can do other things about documentaries, about things going on, you know. So we'll have a mixed bag
Yeah.
of stuff, you know. Yeah. It could be
It's
very,
better. Like,
very
it's better because you don't have to worry about, like, you know, trying to explain anything. It's right there. You can present it. People can
Mhm.
watch it and make their own conclusion.
That's it.
You know,
That's
and
exactly
that's
right.
it.
And you
So
know, I know there's a lot of things going on right now in the world. And I mean, but still, yeah, it's important that we get that out and try to make people believe things and point things out the way things is going on. But there
yeah.
again, we have to have a little off time too, you know, and get together
Yes.
and have a good time. Because if you
Little
just
giggles.
if you just sit, you hear that train, don't you?
Yes, I like trains. Look. I love trains.
Well,
Choo choo. I like trains.
but yeah. Oh, let me take care of this. I done deleted something like that a while back. Let me delete this guy here. Block user.
Oh, that Dayton vibe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's gone.
But
But
yeah, Rottweiler. Oh, you know another good movie that people forgot?
what?
Cujo.
Cujo. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that was a good one. The dog with the rabies, and
Mhm.
it was attacking that lady. That was a good one.
Oh my
That
gosh,
was a really good one.
it was. Oh Lord. Oh, by the way, if I do happen to run out of hours on this channel, you know, I do have my other channel, which is the Equalizer 2 account that I don't hardly ever use. So I don't know if y'all familiar with that one. I know Candy, you are.
Yes.
But yeah, and I don't have that many subs to that channel because I don't use it that much. But just saying, like, if I do happen to run out of hours on this one, we can always go to that one also.
Yeah, and that way we can do things on there.
That's exactly right. Get another 20 hours free a month.
Just so you know, now they allow you to record. That's what I did with my food yesterday when I was cooking it. I went on StreamYard and recorded that.
Oh yeah, I seen that and I was like, where did this come from? But I seen that where they give you like 5 hours recording time, and then once it gets full, you can erase some and delete some and get your 5 hours back for free.
Yeah, and I like it because the phone I have sucks. Like when I try to record things, it's not clear, you know, and the sound goes off after a minute of talking sometimes. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use StreamYard to record stuff now.
Yep.
And then download the video, and then I can post it where I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure I would use that for now on when I want to record something I want to talk about, you know, and it's 5 hours. I ain't going to do 5 hours recording. So, you know, I figure it's enough to do certain videos and things I need to talk about.
Yes. I'll probably end the stream in about 10 minutes, maybe 8-9 minutes, something like that. But yeah, let's keep talking until that time's up, and then we'll go do what we got to do. But
yeah, boy, I got to do my studies. I have to renew. I got to renew this phlebotomy and medical certification. So I have to do these classes like online. So I figure right now, while I'm out for this, you know, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing that.
Gotcha.
Trying to renew it.
Wanda, are you sub to my Equalizer account? I don't know if you are or not. I know I don't have that many subs on there. I think maybe 19. No, sometimes it's hard to find. But you can go to one of you can go to Colin's channel or my channel here and go on channels, and I'm subbed at both my channels on both of them. And but yeah, you can click on one of those and go to it and sub to it. What's that? Longest knots destroyed that tree. Huh? What are y'all talking about? Oh, you got a spammer. Oh, that was a while back. Yeah, that was that dating site.
The guy, the wee wee promoter, he was coming on here. The wee wee promoter.
It's, I know in some of my videos on my playlists and stuff, I do have the link up for it in the description. I can't remember I mean, I could post it the next time I do one. But it's Equalizer 2132. But like I said, you can go to the subs or my channels on this channel, and it should be under channels. The box or the tab under channels. Only thing I do is just scroll down and find Equalizer 2132 and just click on it, and you can sub to it like that. Or I can go to, I think I'm sub to you on that channel, I believe. I'm not sure. I have to check and see, but we'll figure it out, Wonga.
Yeah.
Who destroyed the whole house?
I want to take a walk, but
oh, you did sub to it. Okay, Wonga. All right, yeah, because Roland's in the side chat. Yeah. Yep. Copy and paste. There you go. You're smart. It was simpler than
I want to take a walk, but yesterday, I don't know. I'm going to take a different route this time because that guy at the house was weird.
Oh.
I don't know. I was thinking about him today. I sensed like evil or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like somebody was lost or something, and they had some evil around them in their lives. But I told Roland about it yesterday. I was like, that was so weird. But just when I shaked his hand, I stared into his eyes. I saw it. That's what I felt.
Just a vibe.
And yeah.
Oh gosh.
And so I'm gonna walk over the other way now because I don't know. It was just something just felt off. I just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's 43 right now here, but the wind is blowing. It's not hard, but it's enough to. The wind chills feels like it's in the upper 30s. We actually got some snow flurries early this morning.
I saw something coming out of the sky. I thought I saw some little white like flakes coming down, but I was like, "What is it? Me or is it some like
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't. Nothing stuck around here, but it was very hard to see. But it was snow. It was snow flurries. Thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But thank God it didn't last long.
We don't need no snow right now. That's the last thing we need.
No, we don't need none of that stuff. My goodness.
I'd rather that at the very last moment of winter before spring hits. We'll get a nice snowstorm, stay off work, and just get cozy. Have some hot chocolate.
Exactly. That'd be time to do a movie.
Yes. Because, honestly, because I would want to wait until the last minute because after being off for almost 4 weeks of work, I don't think I want to take a day off anytime soon after that. So I'd be like, I'll wait till that last minute before spring, get a snowstorm, and then that's it.
Yep. I'll try to make one tonight, Colin. Get things I got done finished today. And then I'll get back and try to set one for a little bit later tonight. You'll get the notification though. I remember that day when I said I couldn't tell you the bad news, but I said it was about Nico.
It was about Nico. Well, he died, so I just had to deal with it. At least he ain't suffering no more in that peace. Yeah, I remember you told me, Arsenio, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Oh, I miss being able to go, But yes, he is at peace, Nico. He is, and I'm gonna always remember him. Oh, Nico pup.
Well,
But I'm just glad you're doing okay, Arsenio. You know what I mean?
yep.
You just got to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, you too, Colin.
Yeah. Thank you for
Take care,
coming, Colin.
Colin.
You know, I hope y'all. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna do some of these copyright-free movies sometimes at moments. I like doing them. That way you don't get a strike.
I know. I just wish they didn't strike people. You know, I wish there was some kind of method where they'd be like, okay, if you want to avoid a copy strike or something, a certain amount a month, you pay this amount, and we will make sure you don't get striked. You know, I wish they had something like that, and I'd be like, oh yes, I'll pay the $25 every month. That way, I can stream whatever I want. I'm paying the musicians to play their music videos, and I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. But you got to be so careful nowadays about stuff like this. Oh, I found Rumble last night. I heard about it.
Did.
And I actually went to Rumble. And there's a lot of good, interesting things on Rumble. They're not like YouTube. It's kind of set up like YouTube, but they're not like YouTube at all. So
we got to go on there.
Rumble is really good. And there was so many things I could type in and want to see. Some of them was long, some of them was short, but they were very, very interesting. And
wow.
I'd done a thing on Rumble to find out what type of content it was allowed, and it's more right leaning. You know what I'm saying? Sean Hannity's over there, Tucker Carlson's over there, and it's very, very interesting. A lot of things I wanted to see earlier this morning before I laid down, but I just didn't have time. You know, but it's Rumble is what it's called. And
yeah, they're not censored at all. Like they're full blown raw detail.
And they don't they don't censor.
Oh, no problem, Arsenio. I love this. I'm so happy you got to join us today. Come in and talk with us and stuff.
Yeah.
Got to talk about all the old school movies.
Exactly.
Next time we're gonna have a talk about the music industry, Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And let's see. Let me see what I can see here. Oh, I'm still on Rumble. Damn, I didn't even close that tab. I'm still on Rumble. I was gonna look at something else, but I cannot find it right now. But yeah, I didn't even close that tab out last night. I'm still on Rumble. Oh, I know what it was, but I don't see the tab up here. Maybe I might have done something with it. I might have closed that tab out. But
take care, Arsenio. I love you. Arsenio.
All right, then. Well, I think I'm gonna shut it down. I got about 2 minutes left.
Okay.
A minute and a half. But I want to thank everybody for joining. And I didn't mean for it to go on this long, but you know, I just wanted to come up after the movie to have a little quick talk. And you know how we go with those quick talks. But I want to thank everybody for joining. And you know, if hopefully tonight, if nothing don't happen, I can do a short live. I mean, a short live. And then we can go backstage and talk about other things and what we want to do and everything. But y'all take care. Wonga, it's good to see you, and I appreciate everybody showing up, and I hope you enjoyed the movie. And there will be more, you know, coming in the future, just like the documentaries. Of course, we'll do that backstage. But thank you all for showing up, and I'll see you later on tonight if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise.
I'll take care, everybody. Take care, Colin. Hopefully we see you tonight in Arsenio. And I'll text you, Roland. I think I got a text. I didn't get to look at it yet. Yeah, I won't say the name on there, Arsenio. I don't want them to come put us on the list. Take care, EQ.
All right, you do the same. And I hope to see everybody tonight. I know it's going to be, you know, late for Colin and Wonga, but you know, we'll work something out.
Okay.
All right. Well, y'all take care. Have a good rest of your evening and afternoon or wherever you're at. And hopefully nothing will happen. We'll see you tonight. All right. Later, guys. Okay. Thank you, Wonga. Hope you can come. You know, I really do. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one. All right. Bye.